program. I mean, what type of program are you running here?
Here comes the ball.
Go, go, go.
Did you hear that hair?
Be hungry. First on Fox Sports.
Yo, New York!
Morning radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a contract.
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paul, well in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning. Go to hell!
Free your mind.
When does that start, Davey? This is your mic. Go
It
ahead.
starts today
Today.
for the next 3 weeks.
Wow. Talking about the bridge. So Fulmer Creek, though, I have to think about that. I don't think that will block. I think you'll still be able to go around.
Okay.
Got to think where Fulmer Creek is. Maybe somebody can help us out. I think you'll still be able to go up Vickerman Hill. Davey's making his plans to head to Cooperstown. But I think you'll still be able to go up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Hall of Fame game weekend. All the past players are coming in.
Is that this weekend?
No, it's the 25th.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
just trying to play.
You're planning
Planning.
way
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ahead.
Well, if the construction's going to be 3 weeks, then you'll have to plan for it.
You're going to have to plan.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Maybe somebody from Herkimer County that knows about that can give us a call. 315-736-0186. Figure out what's going to happen there starting today. Yeah.
That might be the DOT rep that replaced
There
Jim Picola.
are, I got to tell you something. Speaking of that, you remember I would always complain about if you're over by where Zeb's, if you're coming from 12B and you're over by Zeb's and you're turning left, say you're going towards Westmoreland, and you want to turn left. So that'd be you're on Middle Settlement Road coming from Clinton Road, and you want to turn left onto Route 5.
5, yes.
And you get in that left lane, and there was no stoplight. You'd have to look over to the right-hand side to be able to see when the light turned green, and you could not see it. And people would sit there not knowing that they have a green light. They don't know what to do.
Go!
So the good news, they put a new light in.
With a left.
There's a light in that lane now.
Wow, that's just the little things in life
It's
that make
the
you happy.
little things in life that make you. Now, I will say that I've been complaining for a long time.
Well, see, it just goes to show
It's been
you.
that way for like 30 years, I think, maybe 20,
like
maybe.
Andy Dufresne wrote 2 letters a day to the Congress so that he got himself a library.
Farmer Ben Simons is back on today about a possible threat. This is pretty big of bird flu.
Yes, so I spoke to him briefly last night, and he'll give more detail today. But the birds that are migrating north, this bird flu threat is not in New York yet because you need warm weather to have the birds come back. But the birds that are coming from the south that are migrating north are bringing a new type of flu and virus. There is good news and there is guidance on it, and there will be funding for it, but it may lead to another topic with Farmer Ben that he got into is something that people enjoy here in this area may be going away, and that's the sale of raw milk.
Really?
Yes.
Where do you get raw milk?
You can get it at various farms.
At a farm,
and they'll sell it.
yeah.
But
We used to walk up to the Case farm, and I think we'd bring 50 cents and we'd come back with a gallon of milk.
yeah,
And it had not been pasteurized.
hey,
It was just below your knees.
I do not know how I feel about that, but there are people who enjoy it.
Well, there was just a story recently where somebody died because they had eaten tainted non-pasteurized milk. But, those are, I would, that's rare. It used to be always, the milk you drank was always not pasteurized. Used to be. This morning, anyway, Ben Simons is on. We'll speak with him about that. County Executive Anthony Pacini talking about his county, the State of the County address recently given. Ryan Schmelz is on in a few minutes. Another day, another trial performance. Well, sometimes the former president just sleeps in the courtroom, but this is kind of interesting because I think Cohen is expected to take the stand. That's going to be pretty interesting. This weekend, Davey, if I am correct, it's another horse racing weekend.
Yeah, it's the Preakness on Saturday, and Mystic Dan is going to be running. His trainer announced on Saturday.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
He is running.
Yep. So we have to get Scott on.
Okay. All right. We'll speak with Scott on that. I mentioned the county executive. Anybody see the Northern Lights over the weekend? Kind of hard with the clouds. We couldn't see much. But last night might have been your best shot.
Yeah, where we were last night, it was very clear, but I didn't see any of the green or anything result of the Northern Lights.
Yeah, I don't know that they were that visible last night, but they certainly were over the weekend. There's some great photos out there that people were able to get. Not around here. Have you noticed the change in the weather? All of a sudden, we're looking at a little bit of a switch here. Whereas today we'll start out with a nice sunny day, and it's going to cloud up as the day goes on. And then chance of rain, pretty likely later on today and into tonight. But tomorrow, while there's a chance of a thunderstorm as things heat up, we're going to get close to 80 degrees tomorrow with plenty of sunshine through the day.
All I care about, really, and again, the rain is what it is. It's depressing and the clouds stink. But what I'm starting to really care about is the temperatures I'm seeing. None of the temperatures this week have a 5 in front of it, so I'm happy about that.
Well, that is a little helpful, right? Mm-hmm. This has been a really rough, a very rough springtime for us here in Central New York. What else do I? Everybody had a great Mother's Day weekend. Did you go anywhere special for Mother's Day dinner or brunch or anything like that?
No, we actually hosted at our house.
Oh, nice.
Both our moms.
Okay.
So it was nice.
On Friday, I don't know if you caught the story, but former Utica mayor, former president of the Utica School Board, Leola, pleaded guilty, in this case, to federal charges of stealing thousands of dollars from the scholarship fund, which was supposedly set up for his wife, who had passed away. Anyway, Leola, who is now 78, this is a story that we covered quite heavily when all of the invites were going out, and everybody and their brother got an invite to this thing. I don't know, what was it, $60 to go, something like that, and it was sent to a lot of people, and a lot of money was collected, about $40,000. And according to his guilty plea, Leola pleaded guilty to stealing almost all of that money.
Wow. So not even a portion of it, not even just a little bit.
Well, as I said, almost all of it. He pleaded in federal court in Syracuse to a single count of mail fraud after spending money donated to the scholarship fund on himself. The former mayor set up the scholarship fund in honor of his late wife, Andrea, who died in 2018. The scholarship, as we all know, was supposed to benefit Utica City school students who plan to pursue post-secondary education in health-related fields. Prosecutors said individuals and businesses sent in nearly $40,000 intended for the scholarship fund, and Leola spent nearly all of the money on himself rather than depositing it into the scholarship fund.
Wow.
He's going to have to sit through the summer. Remember, he's already pleaded on the state case. This is the federal case. The state case was, I'm pretty sure it was like a $2,000 or $3,000. It was money that was spent to set up the party the retirement party, and the stamps and all that stuff.
Yeah,
was
Stampgate.
Labor, which was required that many of the staff members had to, help stamp and lick the envelopes and all that stuff. It was ridiculous. Anyway, he will be sentenced in September. I wonder what happens there. This is a little more money. You're talking about $40,000 now.
Yeah, I mean, do you think he'll face any time is the question?
I don't know.
As part of a
78
guilty
years old.
plea.
I don't know. But these are federal charges. We'll see what
He'll already be on house arrest.
He's on house arrest right now, I believe. Former mayor of Utica, former president of the school board, former teacher. Wow. Ryan Schmelz is with Fox News Radio. It's the fourth week of the Trump hush money trial underway, and this could be the final week for the prosecution. Ryan Schmelz on the line right now. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So this could be the last week, and then we'll see if the defense puts the former president on the stand. But this week, there could be some fireworks.
Yes, and that's because you've got Michael Cohen, who might be the main event witness here. He is the president's former attorney, certainly somebody who has spent a lot of time with former President Trump, and some believe that he has the direct knowledge of this alleged hush money payment that former President Trump is accused of. But, of course, there's going to be a credibility issue with Michael Cohen because he has been somebody who's been accused and convicted of lying under oath in the past, and he certainly is somebody who might lack that credibility because of his past criminal history.
So it's very interesting to see how this goes. Of course, Cohen has been quite vocal on TikTok and on social media. I mean, he does almost like a daily show where he just roasts the former president. But he is the one that was, of course, paid, and then he paid the money out. He claims out of his own personal account.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, being former President Trump's lawyer, he's got a lot of, personal experience with the former president. And I believe, too, he was kind of considered to be a bulldog for former President Trump when he served as his attorney because he would take care of a lot of the crisis situations that could end up, in a situation like this for the former president or, end up in a bad publicity situation, a controversial situation. And so, it's believed that Michael Cohen had a lot of direct knowledge of a lot of these instances under the former president and could dig up a lot of dirt on the former president as a witness in this case. But, of course, there is going to be that credibility factor, and I would expect the defense to try to really expose that credibility factor and maybe some plot holes in his stories that he's going to be presenting today.
Yeah. Of course, this is very interesting because some of the credibility issues were when he represented the former president, where he would come out and say whatever he needed to say to protect the former president. But even I think more interesting about this is Cohen would, if Cohen was still in good standing with former President Trump, he probably would still be there on his side. But now, because they're not in good, they don't have a good relationship, and it's really gone very, very bad, he has taken the other side. So it's not as if he's decided to do I've decided I'm going to turn a new leaf and I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to tell the truth going forward. No, he's just doing it because Trump doesn't like him anymore.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the many strained relationships that former President Trump has with people who have worked for him in the past. And I'm not quite sure if that's going to have an impact in this case.
Yeah.
But I think more broadly, could that have an impact on Election Day? This is somebody who his former vice president is not going to endorse him for president. I believe he still hasn't gotten the endorsement of his former chief of staff, which is John Kelly, who is also his Homeland Security Secretary. And he's got his former lawyer who's consistently criticizing him nonstop. So, I don't know if that's going to have an impact in this case specifically on the legal side, but, if we're looking forward to 2024, I mean, the number of people who have not come out and endorsed former President Trump despite having such a major role in his administration is quite fascinating.
Well, and many of them have come out not only not endorsing him, but saying he should not be anywhere. Some have said should not be anywhere near the White House. So, but Trump has an amazing way of discounting all of that. At least he has up until this point. We'll see, obviously, what happens this year. So, going to be very interesting. You know, the summer doesn't last long. Before you know it, we'll be in campaign season in
Don't
September.
rush it. I don't mean
to rush it, but football's around the corner.
I told myself I was going to take boating lessons before we got to the pool season, and I completely failed to do that. So
yeah, I know.
I can still get this done before maybe July or something like that.
Well, you still have time. All right. Good stuff, Ryan. Thank you. We appreciate it, and have a great week.
Hey, you too, my friends. Thank you.
Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Did you see that Jerry Seinfeld was at Duke giving the commencement speech, and a whole bunch of students just got up and walked out? This is happening, I think, all over the country at commencement ceremony, where students who support or are against Israel in the war against Hamas and what's going on in Gaza. You're seeing a lot of this happen around the country.
So because Jerry Seinfeld is Jewish,
and beyond that, he has. Although I think they probably would do that just because he's Jewish, but he has come out vehemently in support of Israel since what happened back in October. So, here you have Jerry Seinfeld. And they're walking away. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one that's controlling what's going on there. That's the other thing too. Is I get it. You have a disagreement with his point or his viewpoint or opinion on something, but you're protesting a man who has absolutely zero control over what happens.
Well, his jokes could guide Netanyahu.
Right. Exactly.
All right. I hate to say this, but it's already affecting parts of the United States. It's deja vu.
Oh, I know what you're talking
about. All
about.
over again. It is not affecting New York right now, but a good portion of Minnesota has been affected.
It's only a matter of time.
The Canadian wildfires
Blame Canada.
Are back.
Blame Canada.
The Canadian wildfires, thousands of Canadians have been forced to evacuate. Urged to evacuate because of the smoke, endangering air quality. And this is in the northeastern part of Canada, British Columbia, where an evacuation order is underway there and was over the weekend. Smoke has made its way, of course, across Canada, but into parts of the United States, affecting Minnesota and that area. But again, it all depends on which way the wind blows.
Now, the Minnesota Twins, do they play in a dome or a indoor facility?
Davey knows the answer to that, and the answer is
no.
Oh,
no.
So we could have the games impacted then this week.
Well, they used to play at the Metrodome, and that's no longer there. But they play at Target Field a couple years ago. They redid it. It's a very nice park. They don't have a dome on it.
Do you have comments? I have a couple of comments here.
I have a couple here, too. I've got Rob saying Trump had 100,000 at a New Jersey rally on Saturday. That was amazing. 100,000 people in an arena that only holds 85,000. That is incredible. In fact, that has been, he went after Bruce Springsteen at this rally, saying, I'm drawing more people than Springsteen. But Springsteen sells out that arena at 85,000 people. Trump said he had 100,000 people there. The arena only holds 85,000. But when the cameras looked beyond out into the crowd, there wasn't nearly 85,000 people there. I'm sorry, but you got to fact check that, Rob. Although it is possible, I know that Springsteen does not support Trump. He may be a Biden backer, but there were not 100,000 people there.
Wayne saying, oh God, Wayne saying, Lou is a heavy gambler. I've always seen him at Vernon Downs. Does this mean he will be doing online betting now?
It'd be pretty easy, right?
Yeah, you could bet any sports game you want.
I don't know, but he's got to pay back he has to pay back at least the money, whatever that was, the $3,500 or whatever it was that was in the last case. He may have to be paying back more than More, I mean, you're talking about $40,000 here.
Plus.
He'd have to win an awful lot to pay that back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, other comments.
Linda saying to Smitty, you can go up Warren Road and cut across to get onto 28 again.
Yeah, I already gave him that advice, and he doesn't feel good about it. So, but you're coming from Utica, Davey. And so Davey wants to go to Cooperstown. The way to Cooperstown is you take 5S down to Mohawk. You go up Vickerman Hill, go straight through Richfield Springs, past Canandaigua Lake, and there you go. You're into Cooperstown.
Right.
But if you're coming from Utica, your best bet would be to go down to avoid that. If you don't want to go on any of the side roads, is you just take Route 8 down to Route 20, take a left, and then take a right in Richfield Springs.
Okay.
Boom.
Gotcha.
You were there. Any other comments?
Not that I have at this time.
Okay, so that is going to block Vickerman Hill then. And the way, I grew up there. I grew up on Vickerman Hill. So the way oftentimes we would go up is either in through Ilion or, as she said, Warren Road. There are many different ways to get up there and bypass that bridge to make your way up the hill, which is where you guys are going to have to go. Did you also see that Sriracha hot sauce they're stopping production again?
I don't get this. Is it an employer issue? Is it an employee issue? Is it?
So, we already have the sauce. It's Hoi Fong Foods in California. They are stopping production again. And according to them, after reevaluating our supply of chili, we've determined that it is too green to proceed with production, as it affecting the color of the product. Hoi Fong Foods said.
Boy.
A representative from Hoi Fong Foods did not respond to a request for an additional comment. Unfortunately, all orders that have been scheduled beginning May 6th will be canceled and the status changed to pending. So I was in the grocery store just yesterday and none on the shelves. So, however,
we have a different right now. We've got a different.
I was just going to say
a different variety.
There are.
It's like a more red sauce.
So Pistol Pete's has a version of it. There's Trader Joe's has a version of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 brands of sriracha sauce on the shelves of your grocery store, but not the original Hoi Fong Foods. The original.
I mean, I thought that is that the only sauce they make, because I almost think that we have a sauce that's a little bit more red in color that has the chicken on it.
Okay, if you have the one that has the chicken on it, that's the one.
That's the one. Okay.
That's Hoi Fong.
I don't know. It looked like a little more red than the sauce typically was, but
okay, I don't know, but they have it's like a rooster on the label. It would say Hoi Fong. However, there are other brands out there that are making the sauce now. Let's see. What else do I have here? Rob is coming back with more comments. I'll read it in a second, Rob. Did you see that, if you're worried about New York City, there was this thing going on a while back where people would just walk up to somebody and punch someone in the face?
Yeah.
Did you see that Steve Buscemi just got punched in the face?
In New York City?
In New York City.
Oh, my God.
And it was just a random, of all people, why would you want to, this is one of the great actors who's just one of the, but again, it's just like walking up to random people and punching them in the face. I don't understand it. The National Geographic has done a scientific study on the Great 5-Second Rule.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've always called it the however long it's been on the ground rule.
Well, I've always thought that you would be very careful based on what food fell on the ground.
And where it was dropped.
So if a pretzel falls on the ground and it's just a regular bagged pretzel, you'd pick up the pretzel, blow it off, and you could eat it.
Yeah.
But if it fell into something that was moist on the ground, you wouldn't want to eat that.
No.
Now, if you had a piece of something that was a little, like if you had a piece of pizza.
Hard candy or pizza.
A piece of pizza.
Yes. Okay, pizza
and
is
the
a good
pizza
example.
falls on the ground, but it falls crust side down.
Then you're
With
lucky.
the 5-second rule, would
Lucky.
you'd be lucky. But if the pizza were to fall sauce side down, you would never eat that, right? Because whatever debris is there.
You wouldn't be able to see it.
So what National Geographic is saying is that, according to science, the 5-second rule, while severity does depend on the moistness of what falls and where it falls, bacteria, from the moment it touches the floor, will begin to grow on the, you will have germs, basically. 5-second rule or not. It could be split second. So in basically saying the 5-second rule is not a rule.
As if it touches the ground, don't eat it, is what National Geographic.
Correct. However, you do have severity of the touch based on the moistness. So if it's something that is, if a stick of gum were to fall on the ground, you might be able to pick it up, blow it off, and eat the gum.
Yeah. Well,
however, if you were chewing the gum and it fell on the ground, it's already it's moist. You don't want to. You wouldn't want to
just
do
get a
that.
new piece.
Yeah.
If it's falling on the floor of the old Italian
Ground versus
grandma,
when I say ground versus floor,
yeah,
obviously if it falls in dirt, you wouldn't probably want to eat that.
Well, you have your old Italian grandmother who cleans the floors every 5 seconds with the old Blue Dawn vinegar mixture. And then you're going to be fine.
Well, a lot has to do with where are the shoes and the feet of the people who are walking on said floor.
Excellent point.
You may have been out there walking in dog feces.
No shoes in the house.
And then then it's their socks. Do you trust the person's socks or are they bare feet? My daughter said she was recently on an airplane and a woman took off her shoes.
No.
And she did not take off her she had stockings. But she took off her shoes and as my daughter said, maybe because I'm a little shorter, she felt that she had more space to take up, and she reclined her feet over onto my daughter was in the middle seat, and she reclined her feet over onto. It was very.
What in the hell is wrong with that
I do
woman?
not understand. Now, first of all, you're taking your shoes off, and by the way, it's a 45-minute flight. You can't leave your shoes on for 45 minutes. I don't
There should be a
understand.
rule about that. I know there's already too many stupid rules.
There was one recently that I saw that might have been put up on TikTok about a person who took their shoes off and they had no socks on.
Yeah.
And it was a male, and the person was asked to have their seat moved, and they couldn't move. They had to sit in that seat with that person. You think they would have gone to the guy and said, "Put your shoes on, please, sir?" But they didn't. McDonald's is considering and it's coming soon, they say, a new $5 value meal.
It used to be a $1 menu. What the hell's wrong with America?
Well, that was a $1 menu item.
Yeah.
This is a value meal.
Oh,
so
you'll
it'll
get the
come
fries
with
in the works.
It's going to come with things. You may get a chicken nugget meal, and it'll come with a whole bunch of stuff. $5. So
fries and a drink?
they're saying it is. It's going to be very competitive because numbers are down as the cost of fast food has really gone up pretty high over the last few months, the last few years, I guess we'd say. And then Red Lobster, the owner of Red Lobster, says he is ready to sell his stake after Red Lobster in 2023 lost $22 million and has actually been talking about the potential for a bankruptcy filing. And I do say this is the national chain. We mentioned the last time we talked about this. I think the Red Lobster locally does very, very well.
Yeah,
Chet and the crew over there always have a big crowd.
It's a shame too because I would hate that to go away because I love the endless shrimp. It's year round now. Used to be a seasonal thing. Now you can get it year round.
Okay, well that's the new Red Lobster. We'll break and come back. I got a bunch of stuff and some audio to play from over the weekend. And again, as Davey said, it's another horse racing week coming up. And before you know it, it'll be horse racing week in Saratoga, because the Belmont this year is going to be in Saratoga. People are already getting their tickets ready for that.
But there won't be as many horses as there was 2 weeks ago for the Kentucky Derby.
Correct.
The
Kentucky
field's
Derby is
short.
Kentucky Derby is unique with that, right? Where you get a lot of horses in the Kentucky Derby.
This is the return of Bob Baffert.
Okay, he's back.
He's got two horses running in this race.
Hold tight. We'll come right back. A rather decent morning on the way with some rain possible this afternoon. And then tomorrow, we're going up to near 80 degrees, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, it's a chilly start to the day, though. We're just creeping out of the 40s. It's 6:51 at WIBX.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, Hair Grow naturally reduces inflammation in the scalp and is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com.
Attention local business owners. Are you struggling to get noticed online? Want to attract more local customers and grow your business? Town Square Interactive can help your business get found online and reach more customers locally. We're currently scheduling one-on-one consultations with our digital marketing experts this week. Call 315-768-9500 to reserve your spot today. Let Town Square Interactive bring your local business to the next level. Call 315-768-9500.
Memorial Day deals are here at Mattress Express. Save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic sets and then get up to a $300 prepaid Visa card from Mattress Express. Then take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for qualified buyers on Tempur-Pedic at Mattress Express.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. That is Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their roofs for troops mail-in rebate. That is Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code KIND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Okay. So Rob is back and saying there were 100,000 people there. I believe he counted them. And Biden couldn't draw like 50 people. And that may very well be true.
That is true.
That probably is true. I don't think that Biden has that drawing power, to be honest. Like, there's a reason why they don't do Biden speeches at arenas, right?
Correct.
Because it would be probably pretty empty, I would think. But I'm not sure if that actually, you got to hope this time around that translates into votes, because he wasn't drawing people back in 2020 either. I just don't see, I still believe it to be true. More people who vote for Biden in 2020. I don't know that anybody really voted for Biden. Are there any big Biden fans? Like people who are like, I swear by Joe Biden. I'm going to get a Joe Biden hat. I'm going to get a, instead of Go Brandon, I'm going to get a Go Joe banner for my front yard. I don't see any of that. He doesn't have any of that draw like Trump has. But at the end of the day, it's got to be the number of votes, right? Did anybody see the audio? This is real audio. This has nothing to do with Trump, by the way. Did anybody see the audio of the graduation at Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia?
Oh, God.
So they've had to apologize after a bunch of nursing students' names were mispronounced at their graduation on Thursday. So the woman who was reading the names butchered the names.
Oh,
butchered.
That's brutal.
It was, but you don't know how brutal it was. These are not hard names. Names like Elizabeth and Thomas.
It's like the Key and Peele sketch.
I'm going to play a little audio from this, and then you tell me. And believe it or not, there is an explanation. And wait till you hear the explanation. So here we go. Here she is reading just common names like Elizabeth and Thomas. Here we go.
Victoria Lee Zubith Ross.
What the heck? Victoria Elizabeth. Gross. Not what she said.
Okay.
Marlena.
Oh, Melanie.
Zubeth.
Molly.
Carolina Urina. Tamume.
That was Thomas. Somehow she's pronouncing it Tamume.
Are they? Is she like? Did she have some
I
sort of
thought she
medical
was
incident?
foreign. I thought there was like a stroke going on. Listen to here. You'll hear her say Elizabeth is the middle name of the girl. Listen to how she pronounces it.
Victoria Lee Zubith Ross.
Lebatros. That's Elizabeth.
Did somebody like not put spaces
That's
between
what
the
I
first,
thought. Well,
middle, and
no.
last name?
What they're saying is that they had written out the
phonetic?
every name was written, even easy names. Every name was written phonetically.
Oh boy!
So the way phonetics is, you're supposed to use a pronouncer is if it's a hard name, like if it's some very, very difficult name, you would write a pronouncer and you'd spell the name out the way it normally would be spelled, and then in parentheses you'd write how to pronounce it. But they did it apparently. So for
everything?
with every single name, and the woman got so nervous that she was only reading the pronouncers. She got so nervous she butchered every single one of them.
Goodness.
Not everyone, but it was really, really bad. Today is National Apple Pie Day.
Oh, nice.
If you care.
Get a little slice of sharp cheddar on
I
that.
do
thing.
like that, or maybe a little French vanilla ice cream is always really good with apple pie. Apple Pie Day is the day after Mother's Day. Not sure why, but it is. All right, next hour, Mike's free money question of the day comes up. How much will Davey tell us we're going to give away? We'll find out coming up. Also, County Executive Anthony Pisani in a few minutes. And we have news coming up straight ahead next here on Monday morning on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
He is at the heart of the case. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Michael Cohen will testify this morning on day 16 of the Trump criminal trial. The former president is charged with falsifying records, reimbursing Cohen for paying Stormy Daniels to keep her quiet about an alleged affair.
He has made no secret of his disdain for his former boss. His job was once to go after Trump's enemies, but turning the tables by going after former President Trump. He's expected to tell the jury that Trump told him to pay off Stormy, and then the former president reimbursed him to protect his 2016 presidential campaign. But of course, Trump's defense is expected to point out a lot about Michael Cohen, the disbarred lawyer, that he lied to Congress, served federal prison time for tax evasion, bank fraud, campaign violations, and cannot be believed in anything he says.
Fox's Eric Shawn outside the court 2 blocks away in New York City. A senator's trial gets underway today with jury selection. Bob Menendez, a New Jersey Democrat, accused of taking cash and gold bars and more in bribes to help foreign governments. He denies that, and like the former president in his case, Menendez calls it political persecution. Israel is pushing deeper into Rafah, going after Hamas militants in an area of Gaza filled with Palestinian civilians. Days after the U.S. warned that Israel may be violating international law. Secretary of State Antony Blinken tells NBC's Meet the Press.
We treat Israel, one of our closest allies and partners, just as we would treat any other country, including in assessing something like international humanitarian law and its compliance with that law.
Israel's defense minister just said he has updated Blinken on the precise operation in Rafah as Israel and Hamas militants also keep battling around Gaza City to the north. Another pro-Palestinian protest at another college graduation.
A lot of you are thinking, I can't believe they invited this guy.
But not everyone was laughing with comedian Jerry Seinfeld, who's Jewish. Some walked out. Upset with his being a vocal supporter of Israel, others in the crowd then chanted, Jerry, Jerry. America's listening to Fox News.
All right, who's there for heroes or their families left behind when a service member or a first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? Who helps our country's homeless vets? I'll tell you who. It's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org, the letter T, number 2, letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Russian forces are advancing in Ukraine in 2 border areas in the Kharkiv region, while inside Russia, the number of deaths in an apartment building collapse blamed on Ukrainian shelling has risen to 15. There's a big change in Moscow.
Sergei Shoigu was Russia's Minister of Defense for 12 years, but now he's been replaced. The 68-year-old reappointed to Russia's Security Council. In Shoigu's shoes comes Andrei Belousov, an economist with no military background. The Russian government says having a civilian in the post will ensure the defense ministry stays innovative. Sergei Shoigu has been one of President Vladimir Putin's closest allies, but Shoigu's position has weakened over time. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures up modestly after the best week of the year for the Dow, rose more than 2%. In the NBA playoffs, Indiana blew out New York by 32 points. The Knicks and Pacers now tied 2-2 in that series. Denver got even with Minnesota with a 115-107 Game 4 win. Off the court, Atlanta also won the draft lottery.
Despite having just a 3% chance of the ping pong balls coming up in the team's favor, the Atlanta Hawks will pick first in next month's NBA draft. The Washington Wizards will pick second and the Houston Rockets third. 1 year after the Spurs got the number 1 pick in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes, San Antonio will pick fourth.
Fox's Tim McMaster. Wembanyama was this season's NBA Rookie of the Year. On the ice,
Here's Barkov cutting in. Barkov scores!
Alexander Barkov broke a tie, winning it for Florida 3-2 over Boston on TBS. The Panthers have 3 games to 1 in the NHL playoffs. Vancouver edged Edmonton 4-3 to take a 2-1 series lead. In golf, Rory McIlroy won his second straight tournament going into a major this week. The PGA Championship starts Thursday, and on the NASCAR track, Brad Keselowski won the Cup Series race at Darlington. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, it's partly sunny with 47 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. Looks like we'll be up into the low 70s today. Your full forecast is on the way. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Today, the Syracuse Police Department is going to be honoring an officer who died in the line of duty. The name of Officer Michael Jensen will be added to a memorial at Foreman Park on East Genesee Street, and his badge number is being retired in a ceremony that starts at 10 a.m. Jensen and Onondaga County Sheriff's Lieutenant Michael Husak lost their lives after being shot while investigating a report of a stolen vehicle in Salina last month. The gunman died in the shootout with law enforcement. A woman who was convicted of killing 2 young children is now out of prison. Onondaga County DA William Fitzpatrick says 66-year-old Shirley Winters has been released from custody and sent to a secure psychiatric facility. Winters served more than 17 years behind bars for murdering her 5-month-old son in 1980 and drowning a 6-year-old boy in 2006. Fitzpatrick says Winters served her maximum sentence, but there's no word how long she'll be in the psychiatric facility. The Liverpool Central School District is asking for help with picking a new name for its sports teams. The current Warriors nickname is no longer being allowed, and some options to replace it include Centurions, Champions, Legends, Gladiators, Titans, and Guardians. Those names were chosen following the results of an initial survey, and students in district schools will make their selections this week. An online survey opens to the public May 17th. Central New York drivers are handing over less of their hard-earned money to fill up their vehicles. According to AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is now $3.72, down a penny in the past week, but is 22 cents more than what folks were paying this time a month ago. Right now, the state average is $3.72 a gallon, and nationally, it's $3.62. The Transportation Security Administration is looking to boost its number of employees at Syracuse Hancock International Airport. The TSA is trying to hire officers ahead of what is expected to be a very busy summer travel season. There are both part-time and full-time positions available, and benefits include paid training, sick leave, and health care. To find the full list of available roles, head to jobs.tsa.gov. And a ring announcer named the wrong winner of a championship boxing match this past weekend. Saturday's WBA Women's Bantamweight Championship match in Perth, Australia, between champion Nina Hughes and challenger Chernika Johnson went the full 10 rounds. Ring announcer Lieutenant Dan Hennessy announced the scores and declared Hughes the winner. After a couple of moments while Hughes was celebrating her win, and the broadcast announcers were discussing the decision, the referee once again took his position with 2 fighters. Hennessy announced the scores again, but this time said Johnson won the fight and was the new championship. We haven't seen that screw up since the Steve Harvey Miss America thing some years ago.
That was something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Something he's never fully recovered from. It is 7:09. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Sorry.
Here's the latest from the WYBX Weather Center. I'm Mike Johnson. Today, some sun this morning, then clouds moving in and possible rain this afternoon, high 68. Tonight, clearing overnight, below 55, and tomorrow, partly cloudy and warmer. Thunderstorms developing later in the day, highs creeping up to the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WYBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, it's 47. I was going to say 74.
Yeah,
that's
not even
hoping.
50 yet. It's chilly out there right now.
47 degrees, but with sunny skies at 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. The road to the NBA Finals continued on Sunday. The Pacers crushed the Knicks 121-89 in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. In the Western Conference, the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves 115-107. The action continues tonight with a pair of Game 4s. In the East, the Celtics will be aiming for a commanding 3-1 series lead when they visit the Cavaliers. In the West, the Mavericks will be looking to do the same against the top-seeded Thunder. Despite just a 3% chance coming into the day to get the top pick, the Atlanta Hawks won the NBA draft lottery on Sunday. Atlanta, who was projected to pick 10th, shot up the board to win the right to pick first in the upcoming draft, the 5th lowest odds by a team to win the number 1 pick since the lottery began in 1985. Meanwhile, to baseball, the Yankees bashed 5 home runs on their way to a 10-6 victory over the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field. Luis Gil earned his 4th win of the year after striking out 3 batters over 6 scoreless innings. The Rays made a go of it, not tying up the game, but bringing it within 1 in the bottom of the 7th. But fortunately, the home runs continued, and the Yankees were able to take a commanding 10-5 lead. Eventually, the final score again 10-6. Jose Trevino slugged a pair of homers for the Yanks. Jahmai Jones, Aaron Judge, and Gleyber Torres all went deep for the win. New York is now second in the AL East at 27-15. They'll visit the Twins for a 3-game series that begins tomorrow night at Target Field. The Mets walked off with a 4-3 win over the Atlanta Braves to salvage their series finale at Citi Field. Brandon Nimmo slugged a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 9th to lead the Mets to victory. New York is now 3rd in the NL East at 19-20, and they'll host the Phillies for a 2-game set that begins tonight at Citi Field. The Rangers are once again looking to punch their ticket to the Eastern Conference after falling to the Hurricanes in Game 4 of their best-of-7 second-round series. The Blue Shirts host the Canes in Game 5 tonight at Madison Square Garden. Vincent Trocheck is leading the team with 5 goals this postseason. New York is leading the series 3-1. WIBX 950 News Time 712.
Okay, David, do you have something you want me to do right now? Yes or no? Can I move on? How much are we giving away for Hobica today?
$100.
$100.
So depressing when you say that.
It's Monday.
Although $100 would be nice for somebody to land.
It's a lousy Monday.
To start the week. It's a lousy Monday. Okay, fair enough. We'll do Hobica's free money question of the day coming up later on in the hour at about 7:35. Then County Executive Anthony Pacini is on in a second. We'll speak with Farmer Ben Simons, and there are 2 things that are in the news right now. One is the bird flu problem getting into the milk supply, and the other is you might not be able to get, what do we call it? We call it raw milk, unpasteurized, basically unpasteurized milk anymore from your local farmer. Why is that? We'll speak with Ben coming up in a second. It is 7:13 at WIBX.
You'll save like never before. Right now during My Carl's Buy More, Save More event. Today at My Carl's, when you buy more, you save more. An extra 10, 15, even 20% off. Choose from my huge in-stock selection of sofas, sectionals, and motion furniture, recliners and bedrooms, dining sets and mattresses. Then the more you buy, the more you save. Up to an extra 20% off. Plus, get fast delivery and no credit needed financing only at My Carl's.
Are you prepared for the future? Help secure your family's financial well-being with professional guidance. Join us for a complimentary estate planning workshop presented by the DiGiorgio Law Firm with Phil DiGiorgio. Discover the key to creating a customized estate plan to protect assets and minimize taxes. Mark your calendar for 5:30 p.m. May 16th at the office of the DiGiorgio Law Firm, located at 258 Genesee Street in Utica. Space is limited, so RSVP today.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code KIND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, it's Steve Ponte Mazda. Ricky Z says the Move to Mazda sales event is back on and underway. Drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-30 Select Sport model for only $275 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% APR financing on select new 2024 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, and CX-90s. See Steve Ponte Mazda for details. As Rick says, come in, let's make your deal on a new Mazda from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
You know, I just watch, I have some comments. I'm going to get into some of them, and then we'll talk to Farmer Ben.
Yes.
Richard, you are exaggerating. Your weatherman is exaggerating. It's not going to get near 80 tomorrow. The high is only going to be 73. I don't know. I just looked and double-checked with the National Weather Service, and they say 78 for tomorrow. Either way, listen, if we can get some sunshine and 73
on a cloudy day,
I'd be okay with that based on where we've been.
Yes.
Also, Richard says the race this weekend is pretty sad. The field of horses stink, and it's a small field. Nobody good in the race. And he doesn't like the racetrack either. They should relocate the race to a different track in the future. Davey, do you have any comment? We'll ask Scott what his thoughts are
Richard,
on that.
You got something there?
He's always negative.
I
Mr.
know. I was
Richard.
going to say,
Well,
it's at Saratoga. Come on.
It's not at Saratoga.
No,
the Belmont.
It's in
No,
Maryland. In
This is
Baltimore.
not this weekend.
Wait, what race is he talking about?
This weekend.
It's the Preakness. They're running in Baltimore.
The Belmont is in June, right?
I'm sorry. I thought he was hating on the Saratoga
Wait a
track.
minute. Here's Richard. What is Andrew talking about? He's stupid. Man, that came in quickly, Richard.
Wow. Real time comment.
Comments in real time. Let's see. Conservative John in Boonville. Remember October 2020, dumb John Bon Jovi had a rally for Biden. I got to tell you, though, if John in Boonville is going to be a true, I call it Trump-servative.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a conservative. It's Trump-servative. They're Trump-servative. There are two different things. There's a conservative, and then there's the Trump version of conservatives.
Right.
And I believe that John is probably a Trump-servative. But I could be wrong, John. We'll still call you conservative. Either way, John, if you're going to make fun of Bon Jovi, you got to come up with a better nickname if you're going to be a Trump supporter. Because nobody does better nicknames than Trump.
Oh,
and he wouldn't call him
true.
dumb John Bon Jovi, I don't think.
Right.
Maybe Bum Bovi or something like that. Bum John Bon Jovi? I don't know. What nickname would he have? Anyway, dumb Bon Jovi had a rally for Biden. There were literally more pumpkins than people at the event. He's pathetic, and his people won't come out to support him, even with the draw of talentless John Bon Jovi.
Well, that's kind of in the vein of, that's kind of getting a little bit closer to the vein of Trump with the nickname.
It is. It is. But the only problem you have there, though, is that was in 2020, and Biden won in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he doesn't get people to come out, it's still, and I think that goes back to there are more people voting against Trump than voting for Biden.
That could be. Yeah.
That's my belief. But I could be, we'll see where this year goes. This could be a different year because you now have Biden's inflation and you have Israel and everything else going on in the world. Who knows? The owner of, this is Lance and Lee, the owner of Dunkin' Donuts does not allow his employees to seek tips. He pays his employees above the tip wage, one of the only places around that does that.
Yeah, that was a carryover from when we were talking about tipflation on Friday.
And also Bernie in Utica said there was a big pie in Mohawk. They were raising money for Central Valley Academy. They had a pie sale. Unfortunately, I missed that comment on Friday. Maybe we announced it. But that Mohawk Homestead is an elderly home. It's been around for a long, long time. Any others?
Well, there's an event that's coming up. This is from Bo in New Hartford, and I don't think I read this, but we have to get in touch with the rabbi about it. There will be a free performance May 17th at Temple Bethel. We're gonna set something up per this person Bo's request.
Is that the Judica event?
It could be.
I just saw a billboard, and it does grab your attention when you see in big letters Judica.
Yes, it does.
But apparently that's an event. I think they did it last year too. They might have. Here's Kathy in Rome, who's a big horse racing expert. Do you agree with Richard? You don't like the track and the field is rough this weekend?
I really haven't looked at who's running.
Yeah.
But as far as Pimlico Racetrack, it's beautiful. I haven't been there when they were racing, but I had been there for goings-on with a couple of my cousins.
All right. So you like the track.
Beautiful.
You like it.
It's a beautiful track.
Yeah.
And I like the tradition of having the Derby the first Saturday in May, 2 weeks later, and then 3 weeks later, the Belmont. I know there's people out there that are trying to talk the bigwigs into changing the time frame,
okay.
but
all right. So the Belmont so the Belmont will be 3 weeks from this weekend.
Yes.
And that will be in Saratoga.
Yes,
yeah, that's going to be really cool.
And I'm looking forward. I'm going to be there, so.
All right. Well, you'll be our reporter on the scene, maybe. You can call in on Thursday or Friday when you're up there.
Sounds good.
Okay. Love it. All right, there,
Take care.
Kathy. You have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
Kathy.
Thank you. There's your update from Kathy. She likes the course, the track, this weekend.
Yeah.
And Richard, I got to tell you, she also likes cheesecake, so I wouldn't criticize her.
Don't be screwing around.
Here is Farmer Ben. Ben Simon's on the line here right now. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, Bill and Andrew. How's everybody?
Good. We have an update. I wanted to get an update on this the bird flu situation where they say it is making its way into the milk. However, at this point, they don't believe it would survive, pasteurization or anything like that. What knowledge do you have of the bird flu issue?
Well, we're learning the same as you, the general public there, Bill. What happened was back there in early March, February and early March, when the migrant birds that normally go south in the wintertime, go to Mexico and South America, were coming back through.
Now, are they coming over illegally, or are they actually following the process to?
They're flying above the radar.
They are above the radar, so they're not under.
They're flying above the radar fence that they're trying to put up down there.
No wall big enough to stop them. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
anyway,
and so.
Sorry.
But so us farmers are learning the same as everyone else. I thoroughly believe by the information that's being passed out to the farmers through emails and communication through the USDA, this is just my 2 cents worth of it. Up until the last year or two, no one really tested anything for the bird flu or the avian bird flu. And then all of a sudden it popped up on the radar is a kind of a pun, but it popped up as, hey, there's avian flu in the chickens and eggs. If you remember, a year or two ago, eggs were getting up to be $8 a dozen.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, the scientists in the Food and Drug and the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, started testing eggs to see why chickens were dying, and then they discovered this avian flu. And now they've spread the testing more vigorously into other food chains, as in milk cows and your beef animals and the beef. And then they started testing store shelf milk off the store shelves, and they did. They found detections of the avian flu in store-bought milk. So now they realize that the avian flu has evolved a little bit and gotten into the milk supply.
Yeah.
But they are very telling us, and all the information that I read and all the information I'm hearing as a farmer, that pasteurization is taking care of it. And the government, the USDA, the past few years, many years actually, has been recommending that people do not consume, regular consumers, do not consume raw milk, just like eating raw eggs or eating raw beef. They'd rather see you cook it and pasteurize it. Well, now with the avian flu that is in the 9 states, basically Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, coming up through with the birds migrating north, it's coming through. They have detected it in raw milk, but pasteurization so far has been taking care of it.
All right. But if you were to eat,
health risk.
But if you were to consume, and I think there was just a story recently where somebody had consumed raw milk and they got very sick and died from it. But that would be a rare case, right? Would you agree with that?
That is right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like,
that's very rare.
Like if I'm, for instance, if one of my favorite cocktails to have is a whiskey sour, and the only way you can make a whiskey sour the right way
is with a raw egg.
Is with a raw egg, and you take the yolk out, get rid of the yolk, and you use the whites, and it creates an amazing foam. Now that is a good whiskey sour, but it's with a raw egg. Some people don't want to do that.
Well, the way I think I look at it, now I want to make sure everyone knows I'm not a scientist. But I would suspect that the alcohol would probably take care of any of those type of viruses. I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
I know when we all get a cold, they tell us the first thing you want to do is drink some brandy. That takes care of things.
I think you're right. I think you are a scientist. I'm going to make sure I let my wife know that was your recommendation. And then, so now, are we talking about, are they trying to basically outlaw the ability for a farmer to be able to sell some raw milk to a neighbor or to somebody?
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. Many years ago, 5-8 years ago, when I was on the State Farm Bureau board, this issue did come up in New York State and ag markets and the legislature about raw milk being dispensed to the general public. And I got in front of it, as well as many other legislators did. And we basically allowed it to pass through that farmers can sell raw milk to the general public, but they have to go through additional testing and get a permit. And the testing that's on those farms that are selling raw milk to the customer in a bottle goes under a more rigorous inspection than someone like myself that is selling the milk to a commercial plant.
And what is the benefit of getting so the cream is on the top, right? What is the benefit of getting raw milk?
What's really there is if you're buying raw milk, you're not disturbing any of the vitamins and minerals and the goodness that's in the milk when it's raw state. Now that I've been doing some research and there's more and more research being developed, what we're finding out as far as your cream you're talking about on the top is a different subject. Let's talk about pasteurization. From all the information I know of right today, the only thing that changes between pasteurization milk and raw milk is the vitamin C level that was naturally put in the milk by the cow. Pasteurization takes away that vitamin C. It doesn't make it so that the human person can digest it. Now, what you call your cream line milk that you're talking about, the cream coming to the top,
Yep.
you can still pasteurize your milk and not homogenize it.
Okay.
And you still can buy what they call cream line milk.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right.
Yep, there's two different processes there. And so like your regular milk that you buy at your Burn Dairy and your Stewart shops, the local milk, that's totally homogenized and pasteurized.
Okay, all right.
They bring it up to 161 degrees for pasteurization. Then they cool it right back down. Then they run it through a very, very, very fine screen to break up the butterfat molecules that's in the milk so that they don't come to the top. They stay suspended in the milk.
Right. Interesting.
Cream line milk is not run through that very fine screen to break up the butterfat, and as it sets on your shelf, you'll see cream comes to the top.
Interesting.
Two different
okay.
processes.
Donna asking, the birds drop bird droppings all over the place when birds are.
I think that has a lot to do with this.
Is that how the bird flu is spread? Maybe through.
Absolutely, yes. I apologize, but the bottom line is the birds are flying over our farms, like the geese and the birds, and they're droppings on our hay fields and our manure. I mean, in our feed bunks where we store our feed.
Yeah, and the cows are eating it. Yeah.
And the cows are eating it. And it's just part of the circle of life. There's no way that us farmers can keep birds off of our farms. It's just not going to happen.
And then finally, we have a couple more, but I'll throw this one out. I wanted to know, you're going to get some sunshine this morning. Clouds will increase. We're going to get rain. Probably a bad day for the farmer. Tomorrow, it looks like we'll do well with warmer temperatures up into at least the mid-70s. And then thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. Are either one of the, and then rain expected Wednesday, and then things get a little better Thursday and Friday. Does this make for a good manure spreading time for the farmers? Because I have a feeling that smell's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yep. The spreading the manure is good because you're spreading it on the land and it's getting immediately washed into the soil. But we're actually getting past the manure spreading time, and we're into the planting phases of our operations. And with all this rain, everything is mud. We can't get through the fields. So do me a favor, shut that rain off.
Yeah, it's terrible.
We've
terrible.
got too much.
Believe me, we're with you on that. One more question.
This is from Jay in Utica. It's a comment on the app. Just thinking out loud here, I wonder if since the bird flu would be in pasteurized milk, but it is dead, if that would act as a semi-vaccination for people if they drank it, that they would become immune to the bird flu.
Well, bird flu doesn't transfer to humans right now, I don't believe, does it?
Well, they're not 100% sure. That's why the USDA and the CDC came up with the big press release you saw yesterday and last Friday, that they're going to put $100 million into a study to find out how this is being transmitted from animals as dairy and beef to humans. Because cows are coming down with symptoms identical to the humans having a flu.
Okay.
And there has been one person in Texas that works with the cattle, works with dairy cows, that did get and test positive for the avian flu. But other than that, the other 9 states at this point in time do not have it.
Okay.
But we are getting emails now from our veterinarians that if we send animals to slaughter or harvest them, as we talked about the other day, once a retired cow is done on our farm, we need to sell her, and she goes for hamburger, that we are to take a look at our herd and the animal that we're selling, and if we see the same symptoms as you and I would have as a flu, a runny nose, watery eyes, kind of a gray-looking type of an eye, we are not to put that animal into food circulation until we have a veterinarian come to the farm and give us a bill of health on this animal.
Interesting. All right.
So we're learning, just as your listeners, Bill and Andrew, we are learning as we go through this because this is new.
Okay, and by the way, Mike says he's good friends with a veterinarian, and one of the medicines they give to a cow with bird flu in order to prevent the cow's chest from getting congested is Mucinex.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, Mike.
Where is the rim shot?
Thank you for that, Mike. Thank you for that. That's something special. All right, Ben, we appreciate it. Farmer Ben, thank you. Have a wonderful week, and let's shut off the rain. We're all for you, all with you on this one.
Thank you very much, and feel free to give me a call anytime.
All right, thank you.
We appreciate you, Ben.
All right, Ben Simons. And there you go. There's your little bird flu update. Mucinex. Mucinex.
Oh, boy.
That's good. It's an expectorant, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. All right, Davey, we're doing the free money question of the... Terrible, right?
Shaking his head.
Just terrible.
Oh, boy.
Free money question of the day. It's a chance for you to win $100.
That Mike's a good comedian.
Yes, he is.
$100. And what call are you looking for here, Davey?
Caller 9.
Ninth caller through the lines right now at 315-736-0186. Caller number 9, your chance to win here on Monday morning on WIBX.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company is excited to announce the return of the 23rd Annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. This highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company, Route 28 in Old Forge, May 17th through the 19th. Join us for food, craft beer, music, kids' activities, vendors, and more. Shop over 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from the leading manufacturers and hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you choose what is best for your paddling needs. Gear up for all your outdoor adventures with discounts on outdoor gear, footwear, and clothing for the whole family. Shop your favorite brands like Patagonia, Teva, North Face, MSR, and more. Follow Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Facebook and Instagram for updates or for all your local outdoor needs.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands including Summit, Nokia, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Gold is setting new record highs. So where do you purchase gold even for your IRA? Don't believe paid celebrity hype to buy gold. Call me, Dr. Mike Fulgens, America's gold expert at Universal Coin and Bullion. I've advised attorneys general and the FTC on consumer protections. I don't add ridiculous markups so you won't overpay. Call Dr. Fulgens to buy gold safely and easily by dialing pound 250 on your mobile phone and saying Gold Expert. That's pound 250 and say Gold Expert.
Do you have things on your to-do list? Well, rent Bobcat equipment from Warner Sales and Service to help get those jobs done. From heavy work right down to the fussy stuff, Bobcat loaders, excavators, and a wide variety of attachments will handle all the tough jobs like lifting, digging, pushing, and carrying. Tough jobs demand tough equipment, so when you have a tough job, rent a Bobcat machine. Stop by your Central New York authorized Bobcat dealer, Warner Sales and Service, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
I could have pulled money from a few places to do my home project, but AmeriQ helped make it happen with a home equity loan. It was an even better option that fit my budget. My family appreciates AmeriQ believing in us. It's one less stress we have to worry about. I feel like a person, not just a number.
Create your meaningful connection with a home equity loan from AmeriQ. Visit ameriq.org/home equity today. Membership eligibility is required, insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company is excited to announce the return of the 23rd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. This highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company, Route 28 in Old Forge, May 17th through the 19th. Join us for food, craft beer, music, kids' activities, vendors, and more. Shop over 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from the leading manufacturers and hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you choose what is best for your paddling needs. Gear up for all your outdoor adventures with discounts on outdoor gear, footwear, and clothing for the whole family. Shop your favorite brands like Patagonia, Teva, North Face, MSR, and more. Follow Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Facebook and Instagram for updates or for all your local outdoor needs.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris commercial mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it with patented suspension technology. Visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Doug. To celebrate everyone who's customized and saved hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, we got a savings siren that goes off every time someone saves. There it is! It's a really more savings, which really... Okay, a lot of savings. Little annoying now. Will you stop saving for 5 seconds?
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, let's do Hobica's free money question of the day. It's a chance for you to win $100 from Joseph and Andrew Hobica. For all your legal needs, call 315-724-1600 for the Hobica Law Firm. And it's Nick in New Hartford, ready to take a shot at the money this morning. Nick, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bill.
You ready to go?
Let's give it a shot.
All right, here we go. You'll have 7 seconds to answer. This might be one that requires a guess, but you might know it as well. Here we go. Here is your question. The very last Malibu will be manufactured this year by Chevrolet. How many years ago was the first manufactured? Ready, go.
75.
Was it 75 years ago that the first Malibu?
Oh, or was he saying 1975?
Was it 1975? No, neither one would work. The county executive, however, would like to pipe in on this one. Are you a car guy?
Wrong mic.
Just tight on that mic there.
Yeah, a little bit.
What year? How many years has it been, do you think?
I was going to say 60 because I was thinking somewhere in 64, 68 range.
Ding, ding, ding. Just tell Habaika he owes me,
he owes me $100.
That's right. Let him know. The answer, Nick, was 60 years, 1964.
Wow.
And so they'll make it almost like an anniversary ending that Malibu will stop being manufactured. So there you go. We will give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's good. You can take it, and it's a $25 gift card. You could take over to Babe's right now and take advantage of it. Stand by. Davey is going to hook you up. Okay, Nick?
Great. I appreciate it. Thanks,
All right.
Bill.
Thanks so much.
That's good right there.
The answer, 1964. Yeah. I'm surprised they're giving up on all sedans.
Nobody's making cars.
Everything is an SUV,
least, except for some of the higher end
SUVs,
real high end,
right? Like a sports
Mercedes,
model,
Lexus, and But even they're moving towards just SUVs.
I guess when you look at the vehicles on the road now, everything is an SUV,
SUV or a small,
some sort of hybrid.
Either side, either
I
size
was in a pickup truck the other day. As a passenger, and I guess I don't know what model this was. I don't follow cars that much, but I was in it. And it had there. It had an extended cab, so you had a 6-foot cab or a 6-foot bed in the back, which is hard to find apparently. Yeah. But it was like driving an SUV that just so happened to have.
I know some of these trucks now are huge.
It was the roomiest. I couldn't believe how much room was available in this vehicle.
They're huge.
They really are big. So, okay, county executive Anthony Pacini in, and the state of the county was last week.
Thursday.
And there's a host of things we can talk about, but one of the big issues is something I think we all need to be concerned with, and that's youth violence. It is a problem.
There is. We had a whole really crime initiative, and kind of blended it in with that, which we realize we have some issues, serious issues, and I mentioned the fact that we were going to make a large investment. We've invested in facilities, obviously, and so has the community in other areas in terms of activities, in terms of whether it's soccer, hockey, lacrosse, whether it's other types of activities and various facilities that pop up, but we're still not connecting enough kids. And so one of the things I said, if you think we have enough of these things, we don't. And after school programs kind of have gone away, unfortunately, to a great extent. There's still some out there. I don't want people saying, "Oh, there's a lot of them." There's really not as many.
Yeah.
And they're not geared towards.
If you're not involved in sports,
if you're not involved in sports, you're not involved in anything else.
And
that's unfortunate. And so I think that we need to look at all of those aspects of what is connecting. What is connecting youth to the violence aspect of it, and how do we bring them back into the fold of activities and is it jobs? Is it working? Is it other things that they need to do that they're not doing? So I think we really need to focus more on that, and that's one of the aspects of the initiative that we're looking at.
So when you think about what schools are doing today, what schools have to do, almost every school now has a breakfast because kids weren't eating breakfast. So the thought is the whole pre-kindergarten concept was the kids were better off getting them in school earlier than later because a lot of these problems are starting at home. How do you correct that? That's I think the most difficult problem of all.
Breakfast, lunch, and then some don't have
dinner, right?
Over the last couple of years, in fact, we've contributed to the food pantry that was started in one of the schools by Dr. Cheryl Miner, who looked at her students in her school and Martin Luther King and recognized, and Watson Williams, and recognized that there are kids that when they leave, that the only meal they're getting is at school.
Yeah.
And so, they've created a food pantry. That was another aspect of the speech we talked about, because there are, they use the term, there are apps, out there that connect people with so many different things. One of the apps that we want to fund and look at is how do we connect people with food and families with food, because there are many students who do not have a meal. And, this leads to a lot of other societal problems and individual problems with the children or the youth, however you want to characterize, because it's all ages. It's not just the 6, 7, 8-year-olds that have difficulty. It's all the way through.
Right. Definitely a complex problem.
It is.
Really, Andrew.
Well, the youth violence portion of it, I know there's, the younger kids like you're talking about at Watson Williams, that's K through 6. But, I was just talking to my sister who's home from school, and she goes to Catholic University down in D.C., and she mentioned a handful of incidents where the youth violence is prevalent there too. So how do you? I mean, while you can try to try your best to do what you can here, but it's really, I think, a national problem.
It is.
With youth at the age of 15, 16 firing weapons at one another.
Well, but I agree with that, and obviously, as I said, there's a lot of components to this, and when we look at it, from one viewpoint, to say there's that we have youth that are out on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Creating havoc, if you will, or just other situations of violence. Why is that? What is it? What does it become? We need another. One of the things I mentioned, we need another gang assessment study. And I know that people talk that sometimes another study's what's that going to show you? Well, it is going to show us what is happening out there a little bit. So I think we do need some to focus in on that again. The last one we did was almost, I think it was like 16 or 17 years ago.
Wow.
And it's been
shocking.
that long since we did a real assessment of what is happening, because we know that these are youth that are involved in different gangs. It's just the reality, and people can deny it, but it's not. But it's true. And how do we?
They're being used.
They're being used. The other point is, the weapons and things that they're carrying, are, really another aspect of this. The other, we fold it all back in and go back and forth. One of the other big initiatives is the camera system that we're looking at instituting. I committed in talking to both mayors. This was something we talked about. We need cameras on the streets. I think that will, we need deterrence as well to crime.
Right.
So you've got to look at it from both aspects. You just can't, put in place programs and think that that'll fix everything. We also have to put in other pieces, of prevention that will kind of spark some thought into the young people. But we do have to look at other programming that what do they do? What happens when they leave school, if they're in school, from 3 to 9 or 10 at night, or even later. I mean, that's the real.
Mm-hmm. And the camera thing is good too, because one of the things you noted in the speech was also not just for the crime deterrent purpose, but to keep traffic patterns safer, and to see for more of an investigative standpoint for various high traffic areas. Investigation of accidents and things like that. That
obviously intersections. That's a big piece of it. But when you look at high crime areas or high traffic areas where high traffic, whether it's foot traffic or whether it's vehicle traffic, the other thing with the cameras right now, incidents happen with these youth, and they all protect one another.
Right.
If something's out there, that's going to change. That's going to change the dynamic of it and change the whole scope of it. So
the other part of it is, the younger these kids are usually male, right? They're usually male. As my wife says, it's usually 25, 30, maybe 50 before a male actually matures to the point where the male can make a proper decision. So, these are kids that are making judgment calls without adults assisting. Or if there is someone who's an adult, they're a young adult, and they're luring them in.
Right.
That's
there's the 19, 20, 21-year-olds that are drawing in.
But interesting,
the 14, 15, 16.
Yeah. And that didn't happen before, and it didn't. That is it has to be a clear connection to raise the age.
There does.
Yeah.
There's no question. I keep harping on raise the age. Raise the age. Main thrust was just not to put 16 and 17-year-olds in jail with adults.
Right.
That was the thrust. It wasn't about a free pass.
Right.
And that's what's getting lost, and that's what needs to go back in terms of that.
Well,
it was about the incarceration aspect of it.
The legislature didn't at all trust the judicial system.
No.
And decided to, again, these levels, these degrees of where a switch gets turned, and really taking the thought out of the process is allowing that judge to use his or her discretion. That's the biggest problem with all of this.
It is, and everybody, the question was, well, you think these kids knew that they were going to get off because of that? No, they didn't know the first time, or they didn't know before that, but now they know.
Now they know.
Yeah.
But now they know.
Okay, so I want to talk. There's a bunch more to get to, and the Fort Stanwix thing is very interesting also.
Yeah, Lance has a comment on it.
Yeah.
He liked the speech, but there's, of course, without any comments.
All right.
Really quickly on the cameras, though, I think what else is good about that is the fact that, a lot of the time police are relying on ring cameras or nest cameras for things that happen after the fact in an area. That won't be a problem anymore.
Well, ring camera can only do so much too.
Right.
I mean, the other thing is the way that the cameras are set up, that 360, they can see the entire area, but they can really identify closer and really identify people better.
Yeah.
Than a ring camera that is that far
further away.
If you're going to commit a really big crime, and you're going to try to get away, good luck today.
Yeah.
You really are going to have to travel only through rural areas.
Yeah.
God forbid you get on the thruway or go over a bridge, there are cameras everywhere. So you'll stick through the news. Yep. We'll get you on the other side here. News is next at WIBX.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands, including Summit, Nokian, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
We're experts in our field. We're called a Rude Pro Partner for a reason. For outstanding service, knowledgeable technicians, and dependable home comfort, contact Tri-County Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating and cooling home needs. Call 315-829-4100 or check us out on Facebook or our website, tri-countyheating.com. Ensure your home stays cool when it gets too hot out by scheduling a system maintenance tune-up this spring with Tri-County Heating and Air Conditioning. Offer expires May 31st.
For the past 3 decades, the Good News Center has been committed to building relationships, better family relationships, a better relationship with God, and a better relationship with yourself. Families who have a loved one suffering from addiction can find hope in a program offered through the Good News Center called PAL. This program focuses on the family members, not the addict. Family members may feel lost, guilty, or overwhelmed by the roller coaster ride caused by substance abuse. PAL teaches family members strategies to improve their well-being while supporting their loved ones suffering from addiction. Meetings are confidential. If you or someone you know is being affected by a loved one's addiction to drugs or alcohol, we invite you to these free meetings that offer support. Please call the Good News Center to find out more about PAL or our other support groups at 315-735-6210, 315-735-6210, or visit us at thegoodnewscenter.org.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295DI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
It's Michael Cohen's turn. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Well, he once said he would take a bullet for President Trump. Well, now he'll be firing at him from the witness stand.
Fox's Eric Shawn outside the New York court where next hour Cohen will testify at the Trump criminal trial.
Expected to tell the jury that it was Trump who organized the payments to keep Stormy Daniels silent, so her story would not hurt President Trump's campaign in 2016. Meeting with the president in the Oval Office in February of 2017, Cohen will claim at that meeting Trump agreed to reimburse him for the money that he paid to Stormy, and then knowingly lied about it by calling the reimbursements legal expenses. Not the basis of the 34 false business record charges against the former president.
Now, the former president claims he did nothing wrong and the case is political. Just a couple of blocks away in New York, a senator's trial will start.
Senator Bob Menendez is accused of taking part in an alleged bribery scheme to help the nations of Egypt and Qatar in exchange for gold bars and luxury cars. Jury selection will begin today in New York, where Menendez is being tried separately from his wife, who's facing similar charges. The New Jersey Democrat has denied the allegations and accused prosecutors of persecuting him.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. A manhunt for an accused cop killer is over in Ohio. Dwayne Vaughn found dead last night at a Shaker Heights apartment the day after police say he murdered a Euclid officer. Israel's battling Hamas in northern Gaza again.
This, along with the deaths of 4 soldiers in a Gaza City alleyway, are signs the Islamist group is still able to renew its threat. Tanks are trying to get to the heart of the Jabalia refugee camp. Meanwhile, in the south, Israeli forces are pushing deeper into Rafah.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Israel says that operation is vital against Hamas, but Secretary of State Antony Blinken reiterated U.S. opposition, talking this morning to Israel's defense minister, urging him to protect more than 1 million Palestinian civilians there. America's listening to Fox News.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
While the war in Gaza rages on, the unrest continues on college campuses. That's at Duke yesterday.
About 30 students walked out of Duke University's commencement ceremony ahead of Jerry Seinfeld's speech. Video shows students leaving and chanting Free Palestine to protest Seinfeld's presence as he was called to the stage. Others booed the comedian. Seinfeld has been vocal about his support for Israel and even visiting the country after the October 7th attack.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. Crews in Baltimore may this evening try to take another big step toward clearing the wreckage of the bridge that collapsed in March, killing 6 workers. They plan a demolition of the biggest remaining span that is still on top of the bow of the ship that hit the bridge, taking it down. Removing that span will lead them to finally moving that ship. On Wall Street, stocks could rise, adding to last week's gains. The Dow rose more than 2%, its best week of the year. The Nasdaq, S&P 500, they were up more than 1% each. In the NBA playoffs,
behind 35 points from NBA most valuable player Nikola Jokic, the Denver Nuggets beat the Minnesota Timberwolves Sunday night 115-107 to even the Western Conference semifinals at 2 games apiece.
Now it's the best of 3, right? Or best of 2, right? How you call it? That best of 3. Yeah. So you just need to win the next one. That's the most important thing.
On TNT, yes, a best of 3 game series now. Nikola Jokic, a series that began with the Nuggets losing the first 2 games at home. A blowout in the first NBA playoff game Sunday. The Pacers led the Knicks by 28 points at halftime. Beat New York by 32, 121-89. The series is even 2-2.
That's Fox's Jared Max. Off the court, the Atlanta Hawks won the NBA draft lottery, getting the first pick. On the ice, the Florida Panthers beat the Boston Bruins 3-2 to take a 3-1 series lead. In the NHL playoffs, Vancouver edged Edmonton 4-3 to go up 2-1 in that series. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. Barely to 50 degrees under sunny skies, 52 to be exact. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Today, the Syracuse Police Department is going to be honoring an officer who died in the line of duty. The name of the officer, Michael Jensen, will be added to a memorial at Foreman Park on East Genesee Street, and his badge number will be retired in a ceremony starting at 10 a.m. Jensen and Onondaga County Sheriff's Lieutenant Michael Husak lost their lives after being shot while investigating a report of a stolen vehicle in Salina last month. The gunman died in a shootout with law enforcement. A woman who was convicted of killing 2 young children is now out of prison. Onondaga County DA William Fitzpatrick says 66-year-old Shirley Winters has been released from custody and sent to a secure psychiatric facility. Winters served more than 17 years behind bars for murdering her 5-month-old son in 1980 and drowning a 6-year-old boy in 2006. Fitzpatrick says Winters served her max sentence, and the time she will be in the mental facility is not known. The Liverpool Central School District is asking for help with picking a new name for its sports teams. The current Warriors nickname is no longer being allowed, and some options to replace it include Centurions, Champions, Legends, Gladiators, Titans, and Guardians. Those names were chosen following the results of an initial survey, and students in district schools will make their selections this week. An online survey open to the public begins May 17th. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office is investigating the incident that happened on State Route 12 yesterday at about 9:51 p.m. Deputies responded to the scene in the town of Boonville for a reported single motor vehicle accident with unknown injuries involving a bear. On the scene, deputies determined George Franco of Albany was operating a 2011 Volvo 4-door sedan north on State Route 12 when a black bear entered the roadway unexpectedly. Franco was unable to avoid the bear, causing heavy front-end damage to the vehicle. Franco and passenger Bernardo Rosario Gonzalez of Half Moon, New York, reported chest and neck pain from the airbag deployment. Both individuals were evaluated at the scene and transported to Lewis County General Hospital for additional evaluation. No citations were issued. So it's not enough we got to worry about deer in the roadway. Now you got to look out for those bears.
And depending on the size, could cause some real damage.
Yeah.
They can be pretty big.
Oh, yeah. And Olivia and Liam are the top baby names for the 5th year in a row. On Friday, the Social Security Administration released its list of the most popular names for newborns in 2023. Oliver, James, Noah, Sophia, Emma, and Charlotte also made the rankings. The annual list also found that the show Game of Thrones continues to have an influence, with nearly 400 baby girls named Khaleesi last year. Oh, boy. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net.
Here's the latest from the WIBX Weather Center. I'm Mike Johnson. Today, some sun this morning, then clouds moving in and possible rain this afternoon, high 68. Tonight, clearing overnight, below 55. And tomorrow, partly cloudy and warmer. Thunderstorms developing later in the day, highs creeping up to the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, it's 52 degrees under cloudy skies at 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The East semifinals between the Knicks and Pacers is tied at 2 games apiece after New York fell 121-89 in Game 4 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. No doubt a result of the injuries that the Knicks are experiencing. Alec Burks led the Knicks in scoring with 20 points off the bench. Another reason they may have lost, Jalen Brunson only recorded 18 points with 5 assists and 2 steals. Miles McBride scored 16 points off the bench. New York will look to retake the series lead when they host Indiana for Game 5 tomorrow night at MSG. The Bronx Bombers bashed 5 home runs on their way to a 10-6 victory over the Tampa Bay Rays at Tropicana Field. Although it was close, Luis Gil earned his 4th win of the year after striking out 3 batters over 6 scoreless innings. Jose Trevino slugged a pair of homers for the Yanks. Jahmai Jones, Aaron Judge, and Gleyber Torres all went deep in the win. New York is now second in the AL East at 27-15. He'll visit the Minnesota Twins for a 3-game series beginning tomorrow night at Target Field. The Mets walked off with a 4-3 win over the Atlanta Braves to salvage their series finale at Citi Field. Brandon Nimmo slugged a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 9th to lead the Mets to victory. Edwin Diaz was credited with his first win of the season after striking out 1 batter in a scoreless top of the 9th. New York is now 3rd in the NL East at 19-20 and will host the Philadelphia Phillies for a 2-game set that begins tonight at Citi Field. And the Rangers will look to punch their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 5 at Madison Square Garden is tonight, and they will hopefully be moving on. They have been red hot despite losing Game 4. I want to tell you that if you are in pain and it is debilitating, and we all know that certain pains can be excruciating and really have an impact on your life, try Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. Dr. Tim Delmedico and his staff can quite possibly heal your pain. An FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment is available for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. So if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, pain to your knees, wrist, arthritis pain, shoulder pain, knee and ankle pain, foot and ankle pain like I was dealing with, even neuropathy can be treated with Softwave. And if you mention the Keeler Show when you call them to make your appointment, part of Discovery Days, you'll get a significant discount on the treatment. Who else is using Softwave therapy? The Lakers, the Guardians, the Steelers, the Nets, Team USA, the Giants, and the Cubs. In fact, the Cleveland Clinic and Mayo Clinic are using it for immediate post-op recovery treatment as well. 315-725-8427. 315-725-8427 or reviveutica.com. That's the place to go to find out more about Revive Softwave Therapy. It's a natural healing tool, and let the healing begin today with Revive Softwave Therapy, Genesee Street, Utica.
Okay, in studio is the county executive, Anthony Pacini. A lot of stuff to talk about with his state of the county. Any questions? 315-736-0186. We'll come right back with Tony Pacini next on WIBX.
Spring into summer with massive savings from Liverpool Pool and Spa, your headquarters for summer fun. Now through Memorial Day, save up to 75% on all backyard essentials while supplies last. Shop patio furniture, pool chemicals, pool toys, floats, and games. Now through the end of May, 25-pound buckets of 3-inch chlorine tabs, regular $179, now only $99. Lowest price in central New York. Stop by our East Dominic Street location in Rome today. And remember, don't just dream it. Live it.
Get lunch for just $10. 72 Tavern is back open, and now we're your best spot for lunch. Get in and get out for just $10. A turkey club wrap? $10. The Boss Burger? $10. Chicken Caesar wrap? Yep, it's $10 at 72 Tavern and Grill. 72 Tavern is revamped, reloaded, and ready for a great year. Did we mention $10 lunch? Check out the full menu plus our $10 lunch menu at 72tavernandgrill.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
The Memorial Day deals are at Mattress Express. Take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for anything in the store for qualified buyers. Then save up to $800 on Stern sets, $800 on Purple sets, $500 on Sealy, and $500 on Tempur-Pedic. Only at Mattress Express.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around.
Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it. That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Thinking of a purple mattress this Memorial Day? Mattress Express has the largest selection and save up to $800 on select purple sets. Take up to 60 months to pay with no money down for qualified buyers on $1,500 or higher purchases.
Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org.
Hey, everybody in upstate New York. I don't know where in upstate New York, but thanks for listening to the Keeler Show. Never met this man. Don't know why I'm telling everybody to listen, but thank you very much. By the way, this is Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I have nothing else really to say to you, but I thank you for listening to me tell you to listen to this man, Bill Keeler, on WIBX.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, in the studio right now is the county executive, Anthony Pacini. Oh, wrong mic. We've switched mics. I see. I see you switched it up a little there.
Switching it up on you.
And there's so much to look at on the walls here. I have to remind.
It's fascinating.
There
I've
is.
been watching this. This is fascinating.
Like the problem with that one is when you're looking up there, you're looking directly into the camera.
Oh, are you really?
So
oh, my God.
Or if you look at TV, too. If you got the TVs over there.
If I have that camera
right,
on.
I'm watching both of them.
Yeah. In the meantime, I have this camera, the county executive.
Okay.
If you're watching on YouTube, you would see.
Then you're on.
Okay.
There he is.
We do have. I don't ever want to make Lance and Lee wait, because you know how he is. So before we get into anything else, we'll do a comment from Lance and Lee. Mr. Pacini, I liked your State of the County speech and believe you do a good job with running the county. I don't like your idea of reconnecting Dominic streets in Rome. People in Rome have a hard enough time as it is driving safely, but everything else sounded good. Thank you for moving the area forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's in relation to one of the third highlights of the of the speech is the Fort Stanwix thing.
Sure.
So let's talk about that.
So I've talked to the mayor. We've talked to other people in Rome about Rome's downtown in essence, and the thing about the difference with, looking at it from an economic development standpoint, the difference with Utica and the difference of Rome, because everybody talks about the Rome downtown, Utica downtown, and everything, and how do you piece it? Well, Utica downtown is really a defined downtown. You come over the bridge,
downtown,
smack, you're there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really, it's open. Or you come from the east, you're in downtown. You come from the west, you're in downtown. You come from the south, you're in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. You come into Rome, and the one difference is, if you come in off of 49 and take the downtown exit, you really bypass a little bit of downtown.
Right.
Because you end up on Erie Boulevard, the commercial corridor, which, can be considered a downtown, but doesn't have the downtown aspect of it.
Right.
Because if you're there, you don't see the Capitol Theater. You don't even see the fort, because you go right by
it.
It
is unique that way.
Go right by the fort.
It runs parallel to it.
It runs right.
Yeah.
And if you come down, to be too complicated, but if you come down East Dominic Street, you end up in Black River Boulevard, and you run into the fort, and you go around it.
Yeah. And
what was the
You
original?
kind of go around. You bypass downtown again,
Right.
because downtown is that corridor.
Is that
on
the
West
original
Dominic Street.
downtown Rome?
I believe it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I mean, and where the fort was.
Right.
Anyway, in digging up stuff, we went back and looked, and when they originally designed the fort, or were in the concept, or in the process of design and build out, and started urban renewal and all of that stuff, it was supposed to stay open. The original plans of the fort were going to keep that connector there, and with the idea that it would still have some kind of, they talked about a mall, not a mall.
Yeah,
in the sense of
like a Singer
shopping mall,
a mall of a downtown mall,
right?
A downtown aspect of it. And they talked about that in the overall plans, and then for whatever reason, that all got scrapped, and they just built the fort in that area. So my thought, I understand, and it's complicated a little bit, but if there's some kind of connector, even if it's a street that's accessed, from a certain point, I mean, it's very difficult to just go right through it again.
Yeah.
Because of the way the fort is situated. Well, my point is, if you had something there, and I don't even know, I talked to the mayor, and we've had some discussions about it. Talked to some of the other business people in Rome, to pitch it and kind of say, look, I think that's the problem with accessing the Rome downtown, because if you don't know it, you go by it, and plus you can connect the corridors that really make up a lot of that area. So can there be a pathway through there? Can it be vehicular? Can it be just walkway? Can it be some kind of connection? But the other piece on the fort that I put in there is that, I think it needs more programming. I think it really needs to
bring people there.
Yeah, it needs to bring and with all due respect to the park system, they've done some things, but how many events are you aware of? I'm aware of 3 or 4. I mean, which
it's really a thing where schools bring kids,
right? But there are other forts, and there are other historic pieces around the state that have done some other things.
Yeah,
and I think that needs an injection.
Mm-hmm.
I think between Oneida County Tourism, between the city of Rome, the county, the Oneidas, everybody. I think that there can be some other activities there.
I think
that can and then if you connect
slot machines, definitely inside the fort.
Those
you can make money with that.
Or the people, the reenactment crowd, they are very passionate.
They are, but but there are up in Saratoga, they do a whole winter fest with light shows on the weekends and activities.
Right.
Why is it just a one and done? I mean, I think there needs to be an injection. So we're going to have some discussions. There needs to be an injection of pieces there. You know, if that fort's not going anywhere,
right,
and but it hasn't gotten, and I'll admit, hasn't got the attention from us, hasn't got the attention from the city, with the exception of Honor America Days, the concert, the fireworks, and everything. But then that's it.
Yeah, you know, just throw something out there. You know, Disney, every day. There's fireworks.
Sure.
Oh, every
hour.
Every
night.
Every night.
15 minutes.
I know, but I have a good friend who lives on the property in Celebration.
Okay. So and
he says the greatest thing is, at nighttime we go on the porch
every day.
Watch the fireworks.
Fremont Street in Las Vegas.
Right.
They have that light show thing that occurs. I mean, there could be something that could occur every night at the
there could be on the weekends, but even
fort.
in the winter. I mean, the winter fests, things. And look, we've had different kind of winters, but at the same time, what else? I mean, if it's one of those things. I think that I'm trying to promote it. I'm trying to we have this asset.
Yeah.
It's a national park. It's a national historic marker in terms of Fort Stanwix. Let's do more with it. I mean, if it's going to be sitting there, and how do we? And I still think connecting it in some way, to the downtown will enhance it. Because if you're going to go through there in a different way, you're going to keep going around it and not even see that it's there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have. I mean, there's many people who don't know it's a fort, don't know.
Right.
What's
maybe that is the place where the amphitheater should have.
You're gonna
I don't mean to get that thing going,
hook me
but
into that one, aren't you?
but there might be an opportunity right there. So, is it Jay with a question? I'll get to Jay in a second. So, anything else you want to touch on?
There's no other comments.
Okay.
With regard to Fort Stanwix, nothing.
I do have Jay on the line with a question for the county executive. Jay, you're on with Tony.
Good morning, gentlemen, and Mr. Pacini, doing a great job. Continued success.
Thank you.
A couple things. Just with that he took the words out of my mouth, the amphitheater. I just been reading a little bit and Sentinel online. Is there any chance of that ever coming to surface, or is it just kind of in the back burner, hard telling?
Well, I guess I think anything's possible, but there has to be a complete plan on how it's going to be. First, funded, obviously how it's going to be maintained and sustained, and is there enough of a marketplace, for the entertainment venue there when you have other venues, around the area that are, I mean, it's tough getting bands, it's tough getting acts, it's tough, ask the Stanley, ask the Capitol, ask even the Oneidas have not slacked off, but they're limited in what they get.
No, I understand that completely, but I'm a Rome native for 60-some-odd years, and the Erie Canal Village, I grew up on the Erie Canal over towards New London. But you go down there by now, all it is a big pile of crushed stone and stuff. It's a shame that thing never actually got taken off. I mean, a lot of those buildings are going to probably end up getting knocked down or something. I mean, I don't know. People are into history like as much as I am,
It is, it is an asset in some ways, and was for many years, but then obviously went by the wayside and, has been somewhat neglected. So whether an amphitheater or something else can go there, I guess, that remains to be seen.
It is interesting, much like the Fort Stanwix issue, right? I mean, we bring kids there. I mean, because I remember going to the Erie Canal Village on field trips.
I thought Erie Canal Village was just the greatest idea, the concept that... But it just, whether it was management or whatever.
I just don't think older people or even young adults have an interest in history like some other people do, and it's tough.
The history aspect has gone away a little bit.
All right, Jay, I'm going to let you go. Go ahead, Jay.
One last comment. When I was a young kid, I worked down there for a guy named Coogie Brainerd. He used to have the mule and the horse team that pulled the thing up and down the thing. It was a good time, and I think Donovan Street should go right back like the old American Corner. Make it go right down through towards the Montios all the way up towards the Lowe's there, and then we ain't got to go around all them traffic lights and all that other crazy stuff. Good job, Mr. Bassani. I wish you all the best and continued success.
Get Jay on the team. Get Jay on the development.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep that on. We have Ann in Rome as well. Ann, you're on with the county executive.
Good morning. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, everybody. Just want to say, great idea. I talked to Mayor Valentine when the fort was going up, and I told him then, you are cutting East Rome off from the rest of downtown. And there were a lot of stores. Matter of fact, there were a lot of little stores in East Rome and downtown, and it was too hard to get around. You know, you had a lot of people walking to downtown. Made it very difficult when the fort came. If there's any way to do it, go ahead. You got a lot of great ideas. They've always worked, Tony. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Ann.
Ann, would you be okay with a casino at the fort? I'm just wondering.
Don't start that. I don't need that.
We've had everything else. Go ahead.
That's right.
People brings money. Let's do it.
That's right. How long will it take the mule to get the... we could be betting on anything. Mule racing.
Actually, they used that mule in the boat for a Coors commercial when Coors first came to the area.
Really? That's really cool. I didn't know that.
I was in the commercial. Yep.
You were in the spot.
Wow. There you go.
And we know some of your older. I mean, Ann, you were Hollywood. There's no. In fact, you still are.
Yeah. What's with
That's
this?
right.
What was stuff?
You and your little dog there.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you.
So, actually, that's interesting because Wayne says put a bingo hall down there, and all the old people will come into Rome. This is.
You know what you got to do? If you had a dollar for every time someone said, you know what you got to do? I mean,
I know.
Everybody, I mean, we all have the ideas, right? We all have these brilliant ideas, and you wonder. I do think that one of the worst things that ever was done to upstate New York was urban renewal in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
It completely, I don't know what it was about that generation, but they just didn't look forward to what we were. I mean, they just destroyed the looks of cities and villages and towns.
I think they saw the dollar signs of
money
reconstruction and figured, okay, we'll just wipe out different aspects. Some of it was good, was positive,
I'm
and
sure.
brought to it, but it really did erase a lot of the history and a lot of the historic buildings. I mean, when I look at what was in some of these, in some of these intersections,
what these towns used to look like.
Yeah,
it's really incredible. I mean, and cities like Utica survived.
Mm-hmm.
But Rome was hit hard, I think, and a lot of villages around the area lost their Main Street identity to urban renewal.
Christina Whitesboro commenting in, the city of Rome needs to get Rob Esch to help develop Rome.
I'll tell Rob.
What's next, right? Well, I mean,
what will he think of
What's
next?
We've got something coming. We'll be back around with that.
I figured there was...
I threw a little thing.
Yeah, you got to leave a little bit of a surprise.
Some surprises.
You did leave a hint. You threw a hint
during? Threw a hint during that. Yeah,
I'm going to have to go back and look.
Go back and look.
Now, would it have to do with the harbor?
No.
Okay. All right.
Not necessarily, no.
They have that, the old Ah Delicious, which was the Olympic Village.
Yeah.
I mean, that has opportunity written all over it.
It does. And, we still want to do other development in that area, too. So,
all right. What about the, as long as we're just throwing stuff at the wall here, what about the Inside House? It seems like as that area develops, it becomes a more difficult place for that facility to be.
It does. And, we've had discussions. It's under Helio Health now. And Helio has been looking because, that is an inpatient, outpatient facility. And the models are moving to more independence. You want a separate inpatient and you want a separate outpatient area. So we've been working with them, looking at other, possible locations because, that is, again, it doesn't fit in the in the area right now in the concept of it. Although they've been great neighbors and great partners, and and vice versa on the other side. Nothing has been impacted by it. But when you look at what we've been doing there, and it does kind of not fit. And so if we can work with them and find an alternative, location for both, and then that's owned by the county, so then we can
anything
we
can
deal
happen
with
there.
it.
Okay.
We bought the lot behind. We bought one other, right behind Tony's Autolicious, and next to what Utica Coffee is over there, his area. We bought that lot next to Superior Plumbing. So we've looked at and we use some of that for the tournaments, for some security parking and other things. But that's another aspect of trying to piece all of that together.
Well, and I would think that realizing what we could accomplish with the women's Olympic tournament that just was
I highlighted
spectacular.
that. It was, and we're still getting rave reviews from that.
Yeah.
And it'll be on us before we know it when we have the lacrosse, the box lacrosse championships. With 48 teams.
One thing and that's coming up in the fall, and I've had interest from out of the area, people asking for details about that. You're gonna get people that are gonna come from all over there as well, and one thing that while in Albany, the NCAA women's tournament was getting complaint after complaint about where
nothing to do.
There was nothing to do there. They didn't like where they were staying, and they didn't. You were getting reviews from the teams in Utica.
We were, and obviously, as I said, the community really stepped up. The restaurants really were like packed. And the Olympic Village, what was done at Autolicious.
That was really cool.
That was what I talked about. We knew that inside, the inside the arena was going to do itself because the games were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And people were going to go, and we knew that would draw. It was like, okay, but how do we keep the excitement? How do we keep people and entertained outside of the arena?
Yeah.
And
it worked.
Into it, and it worked great.
Yeah.
And that we learned from that. Going forward into the fall with that, and even if we do something in the future, again, I think the women's world has opened doors for us for other tournaments of that size, and or even if it's smaller, it's great.
Right. Okay, Connie, anything else? Good?
Well, it's just for you from Lance. But,
okay.
Saying, be careful, Bill. Management of Erie Canal Village was Jackie Izzo. She was the director.
I don't know anything about that. All I'm telling you is, at one point, I thought it was a great concept.
It was.
It was hot for a while.
It was very popular, in its time.
But at the end, it didn't end well.
So another victim maybe of the internet era.
I have no idea. All I thought is it was an interesting concept. Sorry, Lance.
Oh, privatization and other things. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
Again, how long does it take for Mule A to get to, or the mule to get from point A to point B? There's a bet there.
Wayne also thinks
maybe that's the answer.
Wayne also thinks maybe another dog park or frisbee course.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate
we'll
it.
Follow up on that.
And we'll,
I'm sure.
And we'll break. Coming up, only 4%. Believe everywhere you turn, there's a new diet. TikTok is a place where you can find all the latest diets. There is a survey out that says that only 2% of the diets you find on TikTok are accurate.
Yeah.
That is a problem considering, there are people following it. And don't be an idiot and think that somebody's eating Tide Pods and that's a good way to live. I mean,
that's not a diet.
That's not a diet. Diet. Got a break. We'll come right back at WIBX.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code KIND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code KIND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to American Pie of Rome this Thursday morning starting at 8. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Go to American Pie of Rome on Black River Boulevard for the area's best pizza, wings, subs, and more. See their menu on Facebook.com/American Pie Rome, New York, or call 315-371-0026. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates from American Pie of Rome. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands including Summit, Nokian, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their roofs for troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Get ready to hit the road with Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. Experience the thrill of the 2024 Trailblazer LS all-wheel drive with Confidence Package. Lease it for just $329 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Need more power? Check out the 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT 4x4. Lease it for only $489 a month for 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Or take advantage of our purchase offer with a $6,500 rebate or rates as low as 1.9%. Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Offers are available on select models only. Lease offers require a current Chevy lease through GM Financial, and finance offers require a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in. All taxes, fees, and the first payment are due on delivery. Visit us on Route 28 in Herkimer or at StevePawneeChevy.com. Hurry, these offers end May 31st, 2024. Together, let's drive with Steve Pawnee Chevrolet. Stop in and see why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet.
Hey, River Hills Properties is the #1 independent real estate agency in the region. #2, if you include the big chains, the big chains. And they have a brand new TV show called Sold in Upstate New York, which is going incredibly well. You can check it out this past weekend's episode or any of the episodes, which include homes that are for sale and, very interesting too, homes that have sold and what they have sold for. You can search for it, Sold in Upstate New York, on YouTube. And, of course, watch it this weekend on Fox, Sundays at 8 a.m. and 11:30 p.m. It's River Hills Properties. All the extra services they provide to assist you in selling your home, that's what makes the difference. Your listing agent is there every single time the house is shown. You never have to worry about people coming through that have never been there before, or people there when you're not home or no one is there. Your listing agent is on top of it every step of the process. With offices in Barneville, Little Falls, Rome, and Utica, online it's River Hills Properties, LLC.com. Call 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, I want to tell you the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. First, if you've not tried as of yet, the matcha green tea latte is so good. Drive-throughs lightning fast, the best coffee, breakfast sandwiches, and, of course, donuts made there fresh every single day. Bagels as well. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Okay, you have a comment, and then I've got...
Lance and Lee firing back
Lance
here.
Lance is back again.
Yes, Bill was the one who said it was mismanaged. I was just pointing out who was the management.
Not at the time that it... I don't know the history of it, so I couldn't even talk about it. And I don't know. Apparently, Lance, you feel like during the time that Mayor Izzo was mayor, she was running the Erie Canal Village?
No, he was saying that she was at one point the executive director.
I understand that, but at one point it was successful, and at some point it declined, but she was mayor for how many years? So I don't know. Maybe she drove it into the ground. I don't know that history. Maybe you can provide us with that. I would love to know. Anything else?
Not at this time.
Lance is all over the place, by the way.
Yeah, you can't really figure it out.
Politically. Very interesting. Fad diets all over TikTok. Be careful because most of them you're going to find on TikTok are probably maybe not real.
Yeah, well, the shocking part is just how many people TikTok is their Bible, right?
I know.
It happened on TikTok, so it's got to be real.
Be real, yeah. She is Lisa Hart, and she's the original Buns of Steel host. And she's on the line right now. Lisa, good morning.
Hey, what was that laughter?
Hey, I'm not laughing.
No, listen.
I'm not laughing.
I'm just laughing. You're laughing all the way to the bank with $1 billion in sales.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
How's that for a recovery?
The mailbox money is good. The mailbox money is good. Yes.
And when you have Buns of Steel, you can say whatever you want. To be honest.
Oh well, you know what? With great power comes great responsibility.
That is true.
Good point, Lisa.
And so of course I'm not going to go on social media and say things that I pulled out of thin air.
Right.
I'm going to use science-backed research.
Yeah.
Real stuff. Yeah.
The problem is, I think sometimes that on TikTok people are like messing with other people, and
they are. Yeah.
And people are buying into it. A survey out there says only 2% of TikTok diet and nutrition trends are actually accurate on TikTok. That's a problem.
Yeah. And did you expect it to be more than even 2%?
I would have thought it'd be more than 2%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is pretty shocking. However, if I'm having like a problem with my heart, or, I'm having severe headaches, I've got something on my skin that I need to get checked out, you know what? I'm not going to my auto mechanic for that.
Right.
So, should I put my health in the hands of just a young influencer on TikTok? Or should I go, is she certified? Does she have any nutrition background whatsoever? And is there anyone else that is qualified or certified that is speaking the same language about this fad diet XYZ? And if either of those two things you can't check either of those boxes, you need to just move on.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how people are avoiding speaking with their own doctor and trying to figure something out online. But the last place you want, I mean, Google is bad enough, but TikTok is oftentimes not the answer.
Yeah, and just like you were saying at the beginning, that it's almost like they're messing with people, or however you worded it. And you kind of wonder, are they going, man, I'm going to post this. Let's just see how many people will fall for it. I've got to believe that there's a little bit of that going on.
Yeah, I do too. Of the younger demo, 57% say they've been influenced in some way in terms of health and nutrition by something they saw on TikTok.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate. And again, checking the boxes. I'm not asking listeners to do tons of research.
Yeah.
Just hey, are they qualified or not? Which means, are they a registered dietitian, or have some sort of certification that can be proven, and are the claims somewhere else on the internet? If not, move on. And what I would really emphasize is just to think more about your own self-acceptance.
Yeah.
Why are you even doing this?
Yeah.
Why is this important? Is it because you're trying to lose weight for something that's happening, next week? Is that realistic? I don't think so. And having more of just, hey, eat healthy. Because that may not be the quick fix, but that's the long lifestyle reward.
So can I ask you what you're obviously for years, for a long time, your videos, you'd see them on TV, Buns of Steel, you in an amazing bikini, ... Awesome. And so where are you today? Do you have videos that are still out today? Anything new?
I am still in the biz. I've been in the business for over 30 years.
Wow.
And it is my lifestyle. And so there are workouts on my site, lisahart.com, and my name is unique, LeisahArt.com. And I'm just still promoting healthy living.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, I do not and have not ever spent my life in the gym. One of my favorite things to do is simply walking and doing yoga toning exercises. And I found actually early in my career, I did very high intensity aerobic dance, and I was always like, my head would hurt and I was bigger. I had more fat and everything because my body was screaming at me, you're going too intense. And so then when I started slowing down and doing more gentle exercises like yoga, Pilates, walking, swimming, I shrank and found that I didn't have to so-called diet.
Yeah.
That Pilates is no joke. I've done one class, and it humbled me, Lisa. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it and go, they're not doing anything. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Working
they're
those
doing
muscles,
something. Yeah.
Deep layers.
You can search for her online at Lisa, Leisa Hart, and of course, Buns of Steel. Lisa, we appreciate the insight this morning. Thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You have a great day.
You too.
Okay. You remember all of her videos? She was always on Made for TV, the videos you could get. But I'm looking at her website, and she's talking about how she actually won it may have been a Miss USA pageant in 1993. It was an ESPN Fitness America pageant that she had won. And she performed to the big song ROCK in the USA by Bruce Springsteen, it says on our website. But Bruce Springsteen never did that song.
No, it was who was it? It was
wasn't that Mellencamp? Who did Davey? Who did RLCK?
John Mellencamp.
It was
did
Mellencamp,
ROCK in the USA.
It wasn't Springsteen.
Come on, Andrew.
I know.
It wasn't Springsteen, is all I'm saying. So, all right. What do you want me to do? How much time do I have?
We got Wayne on the line, right? Yeah, we got to
get
go
to
to Wayne
Wayne
because
I've missed him.
But you can go right to the top.
Hello, Wayne. That was my question. Hi, Wayne. Good morning.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
I just I'm going across the parkway and I'm looking at that frisbee thing that they put in up by the new skating rink, and the grass is so high. I thought I seen who was it, Mary and Laura from Little House on the Prairie running through it.
Running through the grass. It's a frisbee park. It's like a dog park.
You know what? I don't know if it's because they had them, them chain link things that they put there with circles and their poles on them. They look like that, but I don't know. They might be animal feeders. I have no idea. But they're every so many feet. I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't say. It doesn't say what it is.
Okay. But the grass is not mowed. And to be fair,
you know what? Boilermaker's coming soon. So.
Yeah, you're right. It's like we tidy everything up for the Boilermaker, and to be fair,
one good mowing.
To be fair, it has been hard to mow this year. We've had I mean,
it's COVID. It's COVID.
It is COVID. Right. You may be right. It might be COVID. All right, Wayne. Thank you, man.
All right, later, guys.
Have a great day. Jack in Rome. Hi, Jack. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey,
Jack,
listen, Bill.
Jack has the history of the Erie Canal Village.
Well, what history I can remember, because I was trying at the time to reestablish the communication system at the train station at that little train station that used to be at the Erie Canal Village.
Yeah.
Everything stopped way before Fusco and Izzo ever got into office.
So
Erie Canal Village was shot back then.
It was.
It wasn't even operable.
So what? I felt like the concept, being such a part of our history, was a really good concept, and I think we had gone. Maybe it was a school trip. Our kids ended up going on. I might have been a chaperone or whatever, but at the time, it seemed like a great idea, and it just never seemed to.
The last thing I remember, the guy across the street, they used to have the horses that pulled the barge.
Yeah.
And from what I gathered, there was a company out of California that was going to take over the Erie Canal Village, make it bigger and better than ever, and it just never came true.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's happened to it now? The train station part is gone.
Mm-hmm.
The building ain't even there.
Right.
A lot of the buildings. One of them, my father and my uncle used to play in a barn that's there. They used to play in when they were kids.
Yeah.
So
well, and the first stretch of the Erie Canal started in Rome. That was the very first opening of the Erie Canal. So it certainly was the place to do it, but it never really has gone anywhere.
And a lot of people don't realize Fort Bull is right there, also in there.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yes, check on Fort Bull, about the history about Fort Bull.
All right, I'll do it, Jack. Thank you, man.
They had a metal frame up there that said Fort Bull.
All right. We'll check it out.
All right.
And,
all right. Thank you, Jack.
One other thing,
All right,
Bill
bye.
Morehouse Frisbee Golf Course. It's awesome.
Oh, it's a Frisbee golf course?
Well, is there one in Utica? I don't know.
I have no idea. Porch Pirate, a Porch Pirate in Pennsylvania. Boy, you gotta, if you're expecting a very valuable package,
you have to have blink or ring.
You got to be careful. And even if you have ring, I wonder, seeing someone steal it, if they're wearing a mask or something, how would you know who it is? A Porch Pirate in Pennsylvania stole a package out of a homeowner's hands. Stole the package out of the homeowner's hands. They were picking it up, and the person grabbed it on Tuesday. Inside, 6 iPhones.
What?
So you're talking about easily, probably about $6,000 plus,
if that, yeah,
worth of iPhones. Here is a victim who goes by Henry, talking about how it happened and what actually happened. Yes, no, maybe. It does not want to play, and I don't know why. Anyway, he was picking up the package. As he was picking it up, The thief came running up to him, grabbed the package out of his hand, and walked away with it. See if it plays now.
No, he does hear those voices. They're not fake, but I wonder if the...
Wrong clip. I think it's the wrong clip. That's the wrong clip.
Come on, Davey. What are you doing in there?
Yeah. I don't know. This everything just went dead on this, and a whole different thing popped up. Nonetheless, we talked earlier about the Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia apologizing to people after mispronouncing the names of all of the graduates. Why did it happen? How did she mispronounce names like Elizabeth and Thomas? How did it happen? Here's some audio.
Victoria Lee Zubitros.
Okay, that Subaslas was Elizabeth. Somehow they wrote a pronouncer for every name.
Why?
And she was trying to read the pronouncers and completely got lost. So crazy.
Indeed.
Very embarrassing moment you're never going to get back. News is coming up next.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Former President Trump has just arrived at the courthouse. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, where his ex-lawyer turned nemesis Michael Cohen will testify about the records the former president is charged with falsifying after paying to keep an alleged affair quiet before the 2016 election.
Expected to tell the jury that it was Trump who organized those payments to Stormy Daniels and then lied about reimbursing Cohen for those payments, illegally calling them legal expenses. But you know, Trump's defense attorneys, man, are they going to tear into Cohen's credibility. He served time for tax evasion, bank fraud, campaign finance violations.
Fox's Eric Shawn outside the court, the former president.